NFT Game Day, and one of our favorite guests, and one of my favorite people, actually. You wouldn't know it, but he really is. Kind of grew on me, and I like to hope that I grew on him. My co-host from the Edge of Obscurity and Beyond, or his co-host from the Edge of Obscurity and Beyond, Sean Ballent, who is COO of Cryptowriter, somehow architect, thinker of CryptoFinney, breaking boundaries all across the space. I will say that you guys have ticked people off because you were on 2 EOS-IO blockchains. Now you're moving to an Ethereum blockchain, right? So welcome. Welcome back to
Can
NFT
you give
Game
me a
Day.
list of? Can you give me a list of who that pissed off so I can unfollow them?
I figured the Ethereum thing would piss you off, Corey, because you're always talking
Ethereum
shit.
Is fucking garbage, and you're an idiot. No, I'm just kidding. No, I've been looking at Ethereum data actually all morning, and while somebody caught some 70,000 freaking gas fees, gas fees are dumb. There's a lot of money sloshing around there, and any project that wants to go over there and see if they can scoop up some of that value. I mean, there's so many projects, fundamentally, in my personal opinion, that are just far and away better projects than on Ethereum. So if you want to take that power and that idea in those communities, over to Ethereum and see what you can do and maybe make a fucking shit ton of money, all the more power to you, right?
So yeah, a couple things. So we had in our community, we had a couple people. Smithy, our beloved uplift builder, and our ginger friend Reese Rice Kent.
Is that racist? Just kidding.
Maybe.
Maybe.
and they went, and then Bulging Idiot, who was one of the artists Joe recruited for a little membership drop thing. You probably have one of his pieces in your account somewhere. They got together, so people out of our community got together, and they want to launch a generative Aussie koala project on ETH, NFT project, and they went and did it, and they grew their Discord community from 0 to over 7,000 in the course of a few days after the project launched. And Kenny and I are looking at that, and Cryptowriter's chain agnostic, Finney's chain agnostic. We want to get Finney on different chains, but the fact that they were able to build their community, that there's that much excitement in ETH, we're like, well, why aren't we taking some of that excitement and funneling it into what we do? I think a lot of projects on ETH that are trying to do these generative drops, they don't, they're starting from 0, right? You look into a lot of these projects, they're promising a roadmap, but nothing proven. Whereas, we've got a lot of stuff going on. We have for a while. I think we may have been the first generative project on WAX. I don't know. Was there anything before us?
I wasn't paying too much attention to the generative stuff, but I mean, I know. You guys were early anyway. If there was another one, I don't know what it is.
I mean, I think we launched in March, April, and I'm not sure there were any generative projects before us, and there haven't been that many after, right? But we had that going for us. We got the publication, we got the podcast network, we've got Finney, we've got the comic, all these things. So we're gonna give it a shot. I think we'd be kicking ourselves if we didn't. And we just think that we feel like we've won at community. So you get a bunch of these .eths and you get them coming into your community. You get them talking to other people who are building stuff on WAX or part of that community. And then what we do is we take the Finney 2.0 builder that we're launching on WAX EOS, right? So after all these .eths, they have their Finney and they're excited. And then we launch this Finney 2.0 on WAX and dangle this little builder out there. And what are they going to do? They're going to see it and they're going to say, hey, that looks cool. I want to try that. And then
so
they're gonna.
I kind of wanted to ask, right? Because what you guys are doing with the WAX 2.0 builder is you're allowing people to come in with their EOS Finneys and put them into the builder and then upgrade them. So it's going to be the same with Ethereum. They're going to be able to come in with the ETH Finneys, put them into the builder and upgrade them, or you haven't decided yet? I'm just kind of curious.
So not initially, but we learned that it's possible because the way NFTs on ETH are, that they could link this is how it would have to work, from my understanding. They link their ETH account to a WAX or EOS account. They can pull their ETH Finney into the builder. They can take WAX assets and dress their Finney up or upgrade their Finney. And when you burn those assets, right, when you create the Finney and burn the assets they brought in, it changes the database in the ETH contract and upgrades it with all the new stuff. So we're gonna launch on the builder on WAX EOS. Like I said, I think anyone new to our community who sees the excitement around that and sees what that can do, they're gonna want to test it out and try it, and then we'll add ETH integration. And then one way, our new idea of a way we want to tie all this Finney stuff together is through a Finney DAC. Okay, one Finney, one vote. Doesn't matter which chain you have your Finney on. And we want people to start writing the story of Finney and deciding Finney's journey from here going forward. We don't want to come up with the story. We want the community to. So we're going to use the DAC to do that. So if you have Finneys, you're eventually going to have a vote in what we do.
I mean, like Alpaca Worlds did that thing where they basically let people vote and decide the course. So like, is that the general idea, or like our community, like writers, because you're a writer, right? Crypto writer. So our writers going to be able to come in and then like write their next chapter, and then it gets voted on, and then the art gets made from there. Is that kind of what
right? Yeah. So well, a lot of this DAC thing isn't really there's no real technical issues in doing it. It's the organizational like setting it up so it makes sense and it works. But the idea is there will be a time period where people can propose the next chapter to Finney's story, whatnot, and then there will be a time period for voting where, based off the amount of Finneys you own, that's your weight, and you can vote on that next chapter. And I'm sure we can do it for artwork too, right? We can get different artists to propose different designs, and okay, once we vote on it, that's the artist, and he's gonna help design the next Finney comic, whatever that's attached to the story.
This is either going to be brilliant or it's going to be a mess like Marvel. You're going to have like 1,000 different versions of Finney. No, but I like it. Like, it's actually really like it's a great idea.
Be like a mess like Marvel. They're doing okay.
Yeah, I know, right? No, but like if you're one of the old like comic book people and you remember like how messed up the timelines and stuff got. Sorry, that's what I was alluding to. But like it's brilliant on it. It's brilliant on its own. But the fact that you guys are the crypto writer community, like that's just it's a perfect fit, honestly. Like that's yeah.
It's also, I think the DAC will help, if it's successful, or if it looks like it's going to be successful, and there's all these EOS Finneys that are cheaper than the WAX Ethereum Finneys, it'll create arbitrage. People sort it out, and you want Finneys to get on, you want them to be evenly priced between all the chains. I think they will be. Yeah, it's a lot. This ETH drop should help us like get a team together that we can put on this, because right now it's Kenny, Taylor, me, Trafford doing the art. Who else? Joe on the underground. Oh, we have another new thing we're launching soon too. We have two things actually, but it's a relatively small team with a strong community. But you run out of bandwidth. You want to be able to pay your people to like focus on things full time. We're just not at that point yet, so we do the best with what we got.
Yeah, we're gonna have Joe in 2 weeks' time, I guess, on a Cryptowriter roundtable. We're gonna look into metaverse art galleries, so that's pretty exciting. Like, you know, if you've probably met Joe before on the Cryptowriter channel if you've tuned into some of those, but like, yeah, he's a fun guy. Definitely a fun guy.
I gotta say, great episode with Burst the other day. Corey didn't realize my favorite part when she was like, Burst, you know, Ken Bozak, you know, you two would love each other. And Burst is over there like.
It's funny actually because they're both pissed off about the same thing.
Are they?
Kenny. Yes. Kenny's pissed off about like it as well. Like he was on a stream with M Blue the other day, and he was talking about how pissed off he was. Like they probably would have dealt with it completely different, but it's just it makes me smile because they're both pissed off about the exact same thing, just looking at it from different ways, right?
Yeah, that's funny.
And that's a choice. I mean, you know, our planet's doing a bunch of stuff. They're breaking ground. They're definitely making some mistakes or whatever. But like, I mean, one thing about that situation, I want to talk to Ken about that too because I want to get some more details. But he made a fuck ton of money from that shit that he hated. He made a lot of money, right? Yeah. And also, like everybody who had his NFTs, like I was buying his NFTs before anyone, just about, right? And I staked them all, and I made money. I'm not mad. Like that's right? It's like people are going to do with NFTs whatever the fuck they want. Right. They're NFTs. So we're either for this freedom all the time or we're not. Right?
Yeah,
so
I think
any project could come in and assign value to Finney's, and you guys would be like, no, stop doing that. Or if you want, I guess. Right? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. But maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah. Well, they are two Ken and Burst are two great characters in the space, and regardless of whether one likes the other or not, I just love. I don't know. I just love characters, right? They're both one of a kind. We got to get them on a show together. Maybe I'll pop in and start some debate, and Jimmy can smooth things over.
Maybe we can get you and Bonds in there too, and you can just like, just you know, any time that other conversation gets lulled, you can just fucking smash them in the dick with something. It'll be great. I mean, and for those of you that don't know, like my first kind of interactions with Sean was when he was basically just like taking Bonds, who I love, out behind the woodshed and just beating the fuck out of him. With just the insults were just like it. I was near them, and it was hurting me. It was just brilliantly executed, frankly. Like it was just like quality bashing.
Sean and Bonds have a very interesting relationship. They're like long lost lovers that like, you know, can't be separated, but can't be in the same room together. This is kind of. I mean,
it's. I think there's a mutual respect underneath all the ball busting. Bonds' cockiness is directly tied to the price of Aether. I've figured that out. There's been a lot.
I mean, that makes sense though, because I mean that, you know, if when Uplift Land finally freaking 100x is like, I'll probably be a fucking total pain in the ass. Like I'll just be super annoying.
Bonds has his own Finney too. I don't think it wasn't an intentional Finney though, was it? It just kind of turned. It just kind of plugged out of it, just like
popped out, popped out of the oven. Big shot Bonds Finney with gold. No. Bonds has been a lot more subdued lately. I kind of like him when he's shit talking and puffing out his chest.
Here's the thing that's your role in it. You get him all riled up, and then he goes out there on a community rampage.
Deep underneath all the under the facade is someone with a big heart, right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
And really, like, I've never really gotten too much of the facade. That's just when you come around.
Yeah.
which is all right.
Yeah. So back to Burst for a minute. So actually, next Tuesday we've got a crypto roundtable.
Canadian, right? We're going back to Canadians.
Yeah, well, so I wanted to like have it a panel of West Coast Canadians that were like, nifty, NFT for some of the West Coast Canadian projects. And so I said to Taylor, I said, let's get a cover image. And I said, let's maybe just put the nifty one up there. And then like the backdrop can be the Canadians. And he threw a big Canadian flag on there. And my patriotism didn't allow me to tell him to change it. So yeah, we're going back to Canadians.
We've got a
great panel actually.
Have we done? Have you done Aussies yet?
No, we're working on that.
We have. Do you have much of an Aussie community in?
Yeah,
in
so I want to
Uplift?
get. We don't have such a big Aussie community, but like I want to get like the guys from Genesis EOS, the guys from EOS. There's another EOS block producer down there.
Dude,
there's a couple.
We have so many. We'll lend you as many as you need.
Yeah, we'll bring Rice on as well because Rice is awesome. He's one of my favorite people in the space. He's doing some really cool stuff.
I think I've been trying to figure it out. I think they just have like a lot of Aussies are collectors. Like they have a large from baseball cards to whatever, and now they're all sort of migrating to NFTs. But it's like every day I meet a new Aussie in our community that's collecting. So they're out there.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that was the origin of Finney on Ethereum. So that's pretty cool that those guys from your community took that upon themselves to go out there and launch their own project.
Oh man,
that's awesome.
And it went off and awesome. Yeah, awesome for them. They did in like a month too. It was fast.
I was wondering what the origin of that koala was, the drooling koala. I'm like, there's got to be some like. I mean, you guys are pretty good at like just throwing like weird stuff out there, like. But I was just like, what was it? The Warlord Finney that like came out a while ago. Like that was pretty fun. But like, yeah.
So in our CryptoFinney ETH edition, there is a collab with their drop bears. There's like a Deegan drop bear smoking a bong, like all chewed up in a wife beater, and then there's some like a friendly one, and then there's a like mean one that's like ripped off an arm.
Back in my rambling hippie days, like I was a tree planter and I had this idea that like, what if you had like this children's story? This is my way to like dement the young of society. What if you had this children's story where they each had a pet?
Again.
One of them had a pet monkey and he just fed the monkey bananas all day. And like the other one had like a pet koala and he just fed the koala like eucalyptus all day. But then they decided to trade pets for the day. And like the one who the monkey started eating eucalyptus and got all stoned, and like the koala started eating bananas and like got that bananabus energy high and just started bouncing over the room. I never wrote it, but I mean,
dude, this is a weird fucking story. I'm here for
it. Do you want to do some gratitudes?
Sure.
I've been what I'm in here doing? I'm in here fucking making. Like I'm trying to basically make it easier for me to earn points while going to work every day. So I could fly up, or I could build a rail up.
Ah, nice. That's awesome. Hey, so did you guys did you guys throw up some high five signs on the Cryptowriter plot for the event? Did you notice a lot of people come in onto the plot for that little window?
Well, we lost our builder to his own project.
I didn't know Smithy was gone. I mean, I'm so sad.
Yeah, Smithy's been gone. He went and made a couple $1 million on Ethereum. Now we gotta.
Oh, wow.
Like you do. Now he's like, I don't need to build for you.
Now he should be able to quit his job and just build for us full time, right? It's therapy.
Better to me.
I'm
like,
sure
he's a bunch of help and get after it.
I was talking to him yesterday, and he said he's not too stressed out, but with a successful project, then there's pressure. There's like more pressure to deliver on what you promised and all these
100%.
things. So I'm sure he's staying up late at night. But Minecraft is therapy, right? Going out there and putting blocks together, that's therapeutic. So I hope that that when he needs to clear his mind, he comes back to Shift City and finishes the job he started.
So are you guys looking for another builder?
Exactly. What's the game
I think he's just taking a break. He's got to focus on the drop bear extravaganza, but he'll definitely be back.
Oh, that's good.
Soon.
Yeah, because again, like I think one of the best, most unique builders, like just for those who don't know, like it wasn't just a build. It was like, I'm going to look at this 2D picture and I'm going to create a 3D model in Minecraft out of it. And like hours at a time, like walking back to stand on a hill to make sure the perspectives like looked right? Like I think it was like
what I like.
Awesome.
What's cool though is like we need to put up a big Drop Bears billboard in Shift City, like everything that whenever our community goes out and they do something on their own, we should bring some of that into Shift City.
Well, I mean, you could even use one of the community plots to develop it without giving it away for them, right? Like that would be cool as well.
Yeah.
You guys have got a pretty good, like, if you haven't been to Shift City, go over there. It's like the upper northwestern quadrant of the Genesis map. It's a pretty cool area.
1200. Yeah, check it out. Still a work in progress. Everything's a work in progress. It's never not, right?
I mean, unless you quit, like a fucking.
What are you grateful for?
Grateful for M Blue. I've been talking to him last couple mornings. He's the reason why I get to do any of this. And so I'm gonna just be grateful for him this morning.
What craziness are you guys working on now?
Fucking Blue Deck all day. We're starting it under a Wyoming DAO. We're gonna be putting everything together. The contract itself is going into final testing. So swaps and incentivized LP for literally everyone. And NFT staking pools for literally anyone. Anybody can, when we're done setting it up, anybody's going to be able to basically put anything in a pool and have anything stakeable on the other side, and just have all that shit work. Yep. So yeah, I'm pretty fucking stoked about that because
it's a whole new use case for Finney and every other NFT.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, honestly, like tokenizing the Finney project at some level, not crazy.
Awesome.
Nick, I've been getting into Egg Chain to get ready for Blue Deck.
That is nice. No bullshit. The smartest way to get ready for
what's Egg Chain?
So Egg Chain project is on Binance Smart Chain. It is ridiculous. It's the way to get your head wrapped around DeFi and incentivized LP the fastest, in my opinion. The team is adorable. Like I love this project. It's very, it's small right now, but I'm very bullish on it. And they just created a game around incentivized LP creating other stuff. And it's like, chickens and you get eggs and, those eggs get Evo and you combine the Evo from different Evo and there's fucking memes and like, what's not to love, right?
Yeah.
It's super fun.
Who'd you say, who created it? Do you know who's behind it?
I don't know them personally.
Okay.
I just have interacted with them a lot, so I talk like I know them. They're awesome. I think they're out of the country, like over in the Philippines or something like that. But yeah, super responsive on Telegram. They're a fun, goofy bunch. I own like 20% of their main pool. I used to own 30, but I keep fucking up and telling people about it. Anyway, yep.
All right, I know what I'm grateful for today. The art of Trafford. Do you know who Trafford is, Corey?
I don't know if I do. Could you spell that for me?
Yeah, TRAFFORD. John Trafford's our pixel artist, and basically, if anything ever happened to that guy, I don't know what we'd do.
You'd basically just be effed.
We need to get a life insurance policy on him. Maybe
Legit.
insure his hands.
Get him an
gonna come to work
understudy.
in a glass bottle, right?
It's
I
really,
mean, Smithy's good, but Trafford, no.
I mean, it's really his ability. I mean, I'm sure there's other pixel artists out there that are great, but the efficiency in which he does stuff, his ability to animate things, and just the level in which he does stuff makes him invaluable to us. He's awesome.
Beans.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was either, and we unpacked we unpacked some Finneys on one of the obscurity shows, and I was like, he's like, hey, you got that, and I'm like, it's like a Trafford. That's like, I don't know who Trafford is. Is this like a celebrity Finney?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, no, man. He's like, it's the artist. But I mean, someday he could be a celebrity. You never know, right? Like,
Legit. Jimmy, what are you grateful for this morning? And by the way, 13 people here. Feel free to throw gratitude in the comments, and I'll hook a few people up.
Yeah, on the run of great teams. Like, we have a great team. I get to work with great people, but today especially, I'm grateful for Corey, Sean, Cowie, and Sam. I've been doing a lot of things with them all recently over the last 3 months, and it's always great to work alongside people you can get along with.
Jimmy, how does it feel to be back from your month-long vacation?
Yeah, so it wasn't really a vacation. It was more like a living experiment. So having like my internet back and a stable place where I can actually stream from is good. Having my mic back is great. Having somewhat of a schedule, knowing like that I don't have to like leave the apartment and go out and find, an internet connection in the middle of the wilderness where I could be miraculously like bitten and killed by a, 10-foot long pit viper is really nice. Yeah, I mean, it's weird being back home because like when you come back home, then all of the things from back home, like they have to be dealt with. And so I kind of want to just go again. And I might someday soon. But yeah, things are okay for now.
Great.
Right.
Well, where I don't.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, it's weird. I can't answer this question because we're always pondering things. It's like, okay, well, do we move there? Like, in spring next year? Do we move back to Canada in spring next year? And do we move to the East Coast? Like, do we buy a gun and move to the States and start shooting shit because that's the only way? Like I don't know, right?
whatever you
Not that
end up
bad
doing,
here. Just kidding. It is.
Whatever move you decide to make, you're gonna regret you didn't do it sooner. That's usually how these things go.
Funny? And people rewind that 15 seconds and write that shit down and fucking staple it to your wall. Like that has always been the case. Right. Like and I just tweeted about this morning. If you know the way, step on the fucking gas, because most people don't. Right. It's like, think about it for a little while and then hum and haw and then maybe think a little bit more. And then like, fucking, I don't know, go to lunch with the in-laws on fucking Tuesday. Gives a shit. But at the end of the day, where a large portion of regret comes from is not doing things sooner.
I think there's like an expectation that you need to follow this, path that,
right.
And really you just got to free yourself from that.
Well, I mean, part of it has to do with my missus and the situation that she's in right now, and like not being able to really leave until March or April. So,
well, if there's details, there's details. I mean, that's
Jimmy, you can deliver a baby in a bathtub, bro.
So I was born in the backseat of a car. My dad got pulled over by a police officer. My mom jumped out of the. My mom jumped out of the.
That's real, but of course
that's
real.
Is this true?
No, 100% true. My aunt jumped out of the car and like started screaming, and the police officer's like, "Well, if she's having a baby, what the hell did you pull over for?" My dad's like, "You're police." He's dick around police officer. Anyway, police escort to the car. I was out by the time we got to the hospital. It might be why I talk so fucking fast. I don't know. My younger brother, who's 12 years younger than me, he was born in our bathroom in the middle of a snowstorm. My grandma had to come over from the trailer next door that she lived at to deliver him. It was pretty insane.
Canada. So Canada.
So Canada. Canada, right?
Legit.
Well, I mean, Corey knows. He's from the north. I'm sure, like, there's tons of situations where it's just like, what? Okay, like it's kind of, yeah. There's certain things that happen in certain regions, right? Like, you know, in Tokyo, people panic if there's like a snowflake. Like, one person sees a snowflake, they tweet about it, and everyone crashes their car.
In fucking Vancouver. So, you know, what are you gonna do?
Fair enough. But like, right in Ontario, in you know, the Midwest, like, people don't panic about that. It's all what you're used to, right? And so, like, when you're on a farm, oh man, I hope my mom never watches this. But if you're on a farm and you're used to delivering livestock, right? Like, what's the difference? It's pretty much the same, is it not? I don't know.
Has your mom ever watched you stream?
I think she might have watched like Corey a little bit, and then like when I came on, she's just like,
I'm
okay,
so sorry.
Dude. I'll never forget the first stream I was on with you guys. It was like my intro to streaming, and right afterwards, Jillian Godsill in the chat was like, "That Corey guy said suck dick." That's what stood out. That's what stood out from the whole hour.
It's like brilliant analysis and content, but
I think she flipped it on, and right when she flipped it on, you were like, "Suck dick."
Oh no. Yeah, I'm sorry. I keep saying at some point I'll be better.
So I'll put it out there to all you wax people who want to ETH Finney. A week from this Saturday, so September 18th, we'll do it in the morning when gas is hopefully low. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We'll see how it goes. It's like the you know, when we first decided to do it, like, I got pretty stressy, right? Because you got all these, you got like 50,000 things you got to do to make this work, including grow our Discord community, right? Which is an art in itself. And then, you know, I'm cranky. My wife's saying good morning. I'm just like ignoring her. I'm like, eh. but then you finally get like where the end's in sight and you've done all you sort of need to do. You're getting there, and then you feel better about it. But I know whenever we want to launch something, there's always that like, oh my God, we got to get it out. We got to do it. And there's like sorting through all that. But I think we're in a good space right now. We are also launching at, what's the mint price? It'll be between 0.03 and 0.06. And we'll probably announce it about 5 days out. We just want to sort of see what the market's doing, hold off as long as we can. But I think about 5 days out, we'll throw out all the exciting little details.
Well, but the one benefit about you know, Ethereum is you don't have to wait 3 days to unstake it, at least, right? Like, you can just
another thing we have to decide is if we want it to be like a timed reveal, right? Like, do we want people to sale goes live, people buy, but they don't see their finnies till like 48 hours later? So we're working through that right now. We're also this is an exclusive NFT game day. We're also going to be releasing a tool on NFT that's NFT devs may not be happy about. There's a lot of gatekeeping going on. If I'm not going to say, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say exactly what it is yet, but I'll give you enough.
But you have to now. Like,
no one's there. Are like 13 people listening.
Yeah,
I don't know how many people.
And our close friends.
So if let's say you're an artist and you want to do a generative project on ETH, you're gonna have to find a dev, and the going rate right now is about $15,000 to $20,000 to do the contract, right? So you've basically cut out the majority of people. What if you're an artist and you create something and you just want the eyes to change and a couple things change? You don't got 15, 20K to throw at that. You know, it's anyone who, you know, has money and backing and wants to do one of these big sales. Sure, you know, they can get it done. But to the average artist or someone who wants to experiment with generative art stuff, they don't have the money for that. So we're going to be releasing a tool that's going to make it really easy for people to create generative projects on ETH. And I'll leave it at that.
I mean, power of the people.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of what's going to end up happening with BlueDAC. Like all these staking projects are coming out. I'm like, well, you're about to have a lot of competition. And not from us, from literally anybody who wants to stake anything for anything else.
It's funny because I was thinking about this today. Another post from the UX network came out in the EVM, and like Talos is doing their EVM stuff. Like all this EVM news has been coming out from EOS as well, like all this EVM stuff. And I keep thinking, it's just like, aren't we like a year late for this? Like, shouldn't we just be focusing our energy on like, moving assets as opposed to tokens across blockchains, right? And so like, I like, of course we do need EVMs for tokens as well. But to me, I think assets are more likely to get adopted by the general population. Not tokens that are going to replace currencies, assets that are useful forms of tender, right?
Yes, I think we are definitely a year late, but it's inevitable, right? It's just one piece of this massive web of interop. So yeah, that's why I mean, whatever. The more bridges you can build, the better, in my opinion. Anyone who still thinks there's going to be one winner here is way off.
And Ethereum people are kind of like that, but the Bitcoin maximalists just make me sad now.
We had shout out, I forget his name. So we're building our Discord to try to tap into some of that Ethereum generative crowd. You sort of have to do it.
Sure.
And there's one guy yesterday who nice dude who actually looked into our project, saw the stuff going on WAX, created WAX Cloud Wallet account, figured out the resource thing, staked some WAX, went over there, bought some NFTs on Atomic, and he loved it. And then I sent him a Finney coin and he burned it and got that experience and he loved it. So I mean, I think that's a good sign that there are people out there who are mostly on ETH who then take the time to come figure things out and experience WAX. I think NFTs, and we've talked about tribalism in NFTs compared to tribalism back in the day, but I think the tribalism's coming down. I think NFTs are helping with that. Why? Because, Cryptowriter, we launched on WAX and EOS first. How many of our WAX community came over and bought Finneys on EOS? A lot of them, right? Now, how many of them are going to follow us and buy Finneys on ETH? A lot of them. So it's really, more than anything, communities built around NFTs. If you believe in that project, that community, you'll follow it wherever. You're just not locked into one chain. So it's cool to see.
I mean, that's a good point. We thought, Corey, about like launching potentially on other worlds in the future, on other blockchains in the future. Like, I'm sure that will happen with us too, right?
Yeah,
and they'll fight, and your community, which is a strong, large community, will follow you wherever you lead them. They'll go there because they believe in you guys. They believe in what you're building. The what chain you're on, doesn't become an issue after that.
Yep, it shouldn't. That's for sure.
But what I'm always questioning is, was that the case before NFTs? Because I remember projects launching on EOS and then deciding to move somewhere else, and everyone's just like, "Fuck you! Like we're not using you anymore." That's they just wrote that project off. But I don't think I think we're in a new generation of crypto folk.
Well, the amount that we're onboarding too with NFTs is way, because people are coming in for those sweet gains necessarily. They're coming in to collect and be part of communities This is like a whole different segment, you know, of people that are coming in for a lot of different reasons, and maybe that's what just kind of blends it out and smooths the edges a little bit. And there's not, you know, these expectations. Like if we've doubled the number of people that are sort of in our blockchain space, which I think is probable this like last year or 2 years or whatever, you know, they're not coming in with these, you know, necessarily these preconceived notions. And they're going to pick a lot of that up, you know, just by proximity and rubbing shoulders with people that are like that. But a lot of them are like, who fucking cares? Like, it doesn't matter, right?
Man, what was it? 6 million, almost 6 million accounts, basically just but today or yesterday on
4 million
WAX,
of those
right?
are Alien World spots. So like, I love that number. Don't get me wrong, I really do love that number. But seriously, how many of them are Alien World spots?
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. But like, yeah. So
I don't.
It's all right. Go ahead.
I don't know if
like
Corey...
I shouldn't be shooting myself in the foot. Like any speculators out there, no, those are real people. I mean, way more real people than on any other chain. So, you know,
it helps too. Like the artists aren't tribal, so they'll go experiment on different chains, and then their collectors will just go try to collect them on whatever chain. Charlie Q. Corey probably doesn't know Charlie. Jimmy does, but Charlie Q is a unapologetic EOS fanatic. Like you know, even the EOS could be like slowly dying and nothing going on, and he will see the you know, the EOS take over the world narrative, you know, happening right before his eyes. But
that's like, you guys have a team of like some pretty diehard, you know, EOS people. So like I multiply that by multiples, right? Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
But Charlie is actually helping us grow our Discord by like spamming other Discords, knowing, you know, in preparation for Ethereum launch. And he says, I'm not really a fan of Ethereum, but if this will help grow Cryptowriter, their brand, like I'm all for it. And so shout out to him for putting it on the line for us.
No, it's great, right? Like he came over. He was, I don't know what transpired there, but like I haven't seen that level of like come to our community, you know, engagement like in a really long time. Like since back in the early days of EOS when everything was popping off, right? Like he was just everywhere. So yeah, hats off to Charlie on that one.
He hasn't been. He's just fresh meat.
So I guess my question is, did he know at the time about the whole Ethereum Finney thing? Like now, is he having like buyer's remorse? He's like, oh god damn it, I pulled all these people over here for EOS, but now we're going to Ethereum. Sorry,
no,
Charlie,
I think
gotta bust your balls.
I'm surprised he's not watching in the comments, but he's cool with it because, you know, I think you know, I'm not going to say we've changed Charlie's perception on the world of blockchain, but I think we've sort of been chipping away at it. And you know, it's a community first type thing where you start valuing the community more than you value the blockchain that they're on.
Amen.
Thank you, J&K. Thank you.
Yeah, J&K, it's a lot of great people in the comments.
Like
Tommy Kings is there, Odonas, J&K. Like, thanks everyone for joining us.
Ethereum NFT that I buy.
That might be the what? The only. Did you say that might be the only?
It might be the first Ethereum NFT that I buy.
Fair enough.
I love you guys. Like, I'm not mad at you guys at all. I don't know why.
Owning a Finney on ETH, I think is. I don't know. I think it's cool. I like the idea of having some Finneys and the Finneys on ETH. We've like leveled up. They've been redesigned. The attributes are insane, and it's just
Morton. You're trying to set me off, dude. Anyway,
right? Martin's like
when it
I
works.
would be willing to bet, right? Exactly. Yeah, right. Yeah, call me when they do one more than one ticket a second. Which is anyway. I have a suspicion in this moment that launching them on Ethereum is going to make the ones on EOS and WAX significantly more valuable.
I think so too.
The community ran with that hardcore, like the first day you guys announced it in your channels, right?
Look, like I said, a Finney community member will go to any chain to get Finney. So when you pull in some of this ETH community and they fall in love with Finney and Cryptowriter, our community, they're going to go over and start sniping them off the WAX and EOS markets too, you know?
Yeah.
I will give this.
To do anything for like the gas war bullshit? Like, how much is there a plan around trying to mint them in a way that isn't? Hold on, let me check my notes. Retarded.
So yeah, you got to do it like Saturday or Sunday morning, and that's the only thing that makes it somewhat. It's not even reasonable. It's still insane, but manageable. Whereas, bro, if it was crazy, like I bought a bunch of drop bears and they were going to have their sale, I think Saturday at like 6 p.m. And then they had to delay it, which is never a good thing when you're about ready to drop something and you have to delay it because you're not going to pay more for the gas than you are for the drop bear, right? You're just not going to do it. And then they launched the next morning. There's like a ETH gas like heat map that shows the week, so you can see where it cools off. But when they were trying to do their drop, it was insane. And just to I remember I bought 28 drop bears and I'm somewhat of a drop bear whale. I'd love to send you guys a drop bear so you have a piece of Rice Kent. They're awesome. The artwork's awesome, but I wanted to just list one on OpenSea, and there's like a one-time gas fee when you first list. And I keep checking in throughout the day, and it's like $250, like $240. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I looked at this heat map, and then I woke up, did it earlier in the morning, and it was a lot cheaper. But I think people are willing to pay, $35-40 for a transaction to mint something, but they're not willing to pay, $150. It's insane.
Right. I mean, that's,
and that week dealing with ETH, and maybe doing 6 transactions, I ended up spending like close to $500 on gas, just because I got impatient. You want to do things, and it sucked. And there's these gas wars, so like you got to be mindful of who's launching their project at the same time as you, because if the project's got a lot of attention, it's going to be this gas war, and gas is going to go through the roof. So
I remember Corey was like really annoyed with the wax thing, when they first came out with that as well, right? Like to add or change or move that position with the cross-chain stuff.
It's really challenging. Now, granted, like it's been one of my best performing positions for the last 6 months, so there's that, right? And getting paid in Ethereum hasn't been what's the word, bothering me. So I mean, there's the gas fees. I think the dirty little secret around the gas fees is that, especially as we think about tokenomics around Upliftium, so we think about this a lot, but that reduces the velocity intensely, right?
Yeah.
So there are only certain things that will get done at certain times at certain levels, and so it's like forced hodling, basically, right? And that sort of raises the level of risk and risk tolerance and potential gains in a way that's provable, right? It's one of the reasons why things bring in so much capital on Ethereum now, is because you can't do small dollar things, which I'm still more excited about Wax, frankly, because network effect to me trumps. I'd rather sell to 1 million people than 1,000. Right. Yeah. And of course, we're still working our way up to that or whatever, but we're going to be able to do that here. You're never going to be able to do that on Ethereum. Like, you're literally never going to be able to do that on Ethereum.
Yeah, I think Wax just needs some more liquidity, and things will get rolling. A lot of
Wax,
the stuff.
$10. Watch what happens.
When we're thinking of building like the Finney builder and being able to upgrade all these attributes and stuff, we would have to go to a second layer on Ethereum. It would be impossible to, I mean, it would be possible to do, but no one would use it, right? Or a very limited number of people would use it. I think I would love to have WAX Ethereum like integration in our builder. I think that'd be so cool because I just want people to experience like when the dude yesterday went and started playing around on Atomic. He's like, I love it, right?
Right.
He loved the claim link, being able to create a claim link. What he didn't like is, or what WAX didn't have is a way that Ethereum, I think, has is a way to trustlessly trade. Like if I want to trade with Jimmy, there's a mechanism they have where I can trade NFTs and not have to worry about Jimmy not sending me the money.
They've got like an escrow thing, right?
Atomic, right?
Well,
yeah, you like NFT for NFT, you could trade straight up.
Yeah, they have that on Atomic, but I think he means without the fee. And I think people do it with what do people
like
do
OTC
with backed NFTs on Atomic?
Yeah, as far as like doing it for, well, there's the thing. Like, I think that secondary market fee structure, you know, if there's ways to avoid that on Ethereum, I mean, okay, that's not good, right? You're not supporting artists, you know, ad nauseum with that. Right. And again, it's a little bit cheaper, but you know what else is cheaper? No fucking gas fees, because gas fees are hate crimes.
They are.
I mean, for me, the problem with Ethereum in general is the fact that like it's basically a replica of modern society. If they would just get over this model that they've built that is, you know, profiting mostly the old school people, we would be on the fucking moon already. I mean, to be fair, Ethereum really is on the moon if you bought it back in the early days. But like, you know what I mean, right? Like there's so much development that is getting halted, in my personal opinion, and I know shit about Ethereum, that like if these things were minimalized, you know, we're just creating a new banking society, I think, on Ethereum. And so I think, Corey, you had a good conversation with Burst before I woke up the other day on our show, where you were talking about the ability on WAX and NFTs to be able to, you know, I think Burst pointed out that like in some places 10 cents is a meal for the day, right? So you have these massive whales that are coming in that are doing all of these things, and that happens on WAX as well. But it's really, you can only really be a whale on Ethereum if you like. It's really difficult, right?
You can't. And we're noticing that people in the community that are just entering, oh, I can go on Atomic and flip these and make a few wax here and a few wax there, and it's like not have to worry about $40 fee every time you do it. It's definitely the thing about Ethereum. You get all these whales and then they become gatekeepers, right? Like they don't want the system that's making them extremely profitable to let all the little guys in and take some of those profits.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's it comes down, any change that's going to happen, there has to be enough vested interest to change it, and enough power within the, you know, the people that actually have control of those levers. And there's so much fucking power there, they'll never do it.
Yeah.
I mean, right? Like
20,000 to do a generative contract, I think's insane, right? Especially when they've probably done them and they probably have the contract right there. They just need to plug things in.
Legitimately, it's copy paste, right? Now, granted, like you know, for people that need to go through that gate. I mean, you know, and I've been joking about this for a while. There's another avatar project, another generative art project on Ethereum every 6 hours, right? Like the fact that you guys are starting with a community is vital, right? Because if you're not, like, you know, you're just another has-been. And really, like that bubble's gonna burst, and it's gonna burst this year, right? At some point, and you guys will still keep trucking, like your community. And this is the thing, like I haven't gotten into any of that stuff, just haven't felt the need, even though Hustle keeps yelling at the Bored Ape like I'm not a fucking caller, you psycho.
I think Corey's glitching.
God, right when he. Oh, he's back now.
Sorry,
Would you
guys,
just
lost my
repeat the
internet.
last?
My back.
Really repeat the last 20 seconds.
Sorry, yeah,
you were saying something good. You were saying something good. Hustle
You've been
House or
silenced by the Ethereum lovers that run the internet, Corey.
I don't
those,
know what I was saying.
You were talking about avatars and yeah.
Yeah, they're a thing. I mean, I don't like it, and I in the little bit that I studied them, it all comes down to community, right? And the amount of value that you're gonna imbue into those NFTs, whatever they are, doesn't even matter really, right? Did you guys freeze again?
No,
we're here. We're just hung on your words because we're waiting for that rant, because that rant sounded like it was a really freaking good one, and we all missed it.
Yeah,
but I mean, like, it was a rant for one. You got your kicks out of it. I mean, that was great. To me, I think it'll be, I just think it'll be interesting. Like, there was a comment up further in the comments. Somebody said, I think Ethereum is becoming like the new Bitcoin in a sense. Just hodl the token, right? And like, I think that's a very real potential for Ethereum down the road. Is like, all of this DeFi stuff will port over to other chains, and like there will be a few maximalists that are left on Ethereum. I don't think Ethereum's going to die. I don't think the token's going to go back to zero.
No,
I mean,
no, it's not.
like, but yeah, I mean, it's a different scenario, right? And I just like, I want to stress this again. I think what you guys are doing cross chain is just great, right? Like, you're bringing more people into the thing. Like, you're noting that like people will follow you, but I also think like it will bring other people in.
Yeah,
right?
and
like,
I think that's the number one reason why we are launching on ETH, is to bring new people in to our community, because we've proven we can leverage our community for the greater good of our brand and the community, and I think we'd be kicking ourselves if we didn't launch on ETH like a year from now, right? So we just got to do it. It's exciting because you don't know how it's going to go until it goes. So fuck it. We've always, like, when we made the decision to go from EOS writer to crypto writer, that's one of those big decisions we're happy we made, and we would have been kicking ourselves. Imagine if we would have just stayed the EOS writer with the state of EOS right now. We would have been absolutely kicking ourselves for not, and I talked to Zach Gall and, Everything EOS, right? The longest running EOS podcast. It's a great podcast. If he would have, became everything crypto, right? And had kept that rolling, by now, that podcast would probably be huge. But he got married to EOS. Like, I was married to EOS, where a lot of us
call the show EOS IO update. So like,
exactly. I was just thinking that,
But when you finally unmarry and you lose the tribalism, and you start seeing things in like a new light, and you feel better. You just generally feel better than when you're locked into EOS and like, so yeah.
But I think you made a really good point earlier, right? Like the people who are on WAX, they're more interested probably in the NFTs than they are actually in the WAX token, right? And so that makes a big difference when you have all these collectors who are people, because like there's lots of people that we interact with in the Cryptowriter community on some of the roundtables podcasts, like OpenSea and stuff, that like create some of their tokens and stuff over there. I mean, they're not really tribalistic, ETH heads, right? Like they're in it for the art. They use it because they believe that that's where all the action is. I mean, that's where if you're a big name artist and you launch on Ethereum, you've got a higher chance. 90% of the time it's selling something for a massive price than you do on WAX or any other blockchain right now. I don't think that's going to exist forever, but yeah.
I think while there's more people innovating on ETH, I think in the NFT space, innovation can happen a lot faster on WAX. And you just think at some point, like we were talking to someone, we had our burn mechanism in Finney 1.0 to level up your Finneys. And there's They don't have that on ETH. There's no one who's done an NFT project like that on ETH where you have this burn, you just burn it. I don't even know if OpenSea has an option to burn NFTs built in. Another interesting thing is they don't do back of cards on ETH, right? So Finney's only going to...
Do they even do IPFS half the time? Like, yeah, like
no, you don't.
To first point, like innovation on ETH, no, they're just like, is there 50,000 avatar projects on ETH? Yes.
Yeah.
Right. But like, I can make a JPEG too. I mean, they have fucking rocks, dude. Rocks.
You don't.
Rocks.
You don't have
Sorry,
to
I'm having a breakdown.
Yeah. No, we're totally going to create our first NFT is going to be like, Corey's top five rants of the week. Rocks, Cardano. What else can we add to that list?
Scissors.
I mean, if you're going to release something, just have it fucking work the way you say it's going to work. Like, is that a lot to ask?
It's their rock, though. I can kind of see the appeal in a rock when we had a Finney coin. It's kind of
because you guys put so much story and culture into it, and again,
didn't they have a crack rock? Didn't they have a crack rock?
Maybe that's a little racy. But well, and again, like the art community is fucked up anyway because they'll sell like a red splotch of fucking paint on a wall for $50,000 or $500,000 or whatever. So I get that we're like testing the boundary of what art and ownership means, but also fucking rocks, dudes. Come on.
We should totally figure out a way to bring that.
I have a meeting that I'm late for. I gotta run, but I'm mad because I want to hang out with you guys.
Actually, Corey, Sean and I have a show that we're late for, so we gotta run too.
Fucking get after it.
Yeah, we're gonna leave. Jimmy's gonna take a very long hot piss, and then we'll be back on.
All right. The links are out there. We'll
right,
get you over on an edge.
It's not just a piss. Like it's
a hot piss.
It's really humid in Japan. Thanks all for joining us. We'll be back next week on Monday morning and chill. Come back. We got a Rockstar week next week. Discord tutorial on Tuesday. We've got the Nasty Hooks on Wednesday. We've got the Cryptowriter Canadian Volume 2 Nifty tutorial. Sorry, Nifty, crazy talks on Tuesday, and we've got something on Friday. I think. We must have.
I'm just glad that you know all that stuff. I'm grateful for you, Jimmy. You do all our booking. Come up with brilliant ideas around governance this morning. By the way, that was really good.
You got to pay this guy more money.
That's true. We need to make more first, but you're absolutely right. Somebody chop this shit out. I gotta run.
We'll see you on Edge, and we'll see everyone on Edge in 7 minutes or so.
I can do 6.
I think I'm gonna pour myself a cocktail for this Edge.
Fair enough. I think I might be free for a while, so we'll see.
Okay. See you guys in a few minutes.
7 minutes. Shit, I forgot. I can't.